let's talk about the Young Hollywood brand. So what's sort of your advice on the Young Hollywood brand?
And what do you give to the consumer? What access do you give to the consumer? Access that they can't get anyplace else. I don't want to give you all the answers now because you haven't paid me.
And that, my friends, is why he is a shark. RJ here. We are hanging out at the Young Hollywood studio with Daymond John, who you all know from Shark Tank. So now on Shark Tank, you're always helping other people with their brands and giving them advice. I want to talk about your brand for a second. Okay. How has the show Shark Tank helped you evolve the Daymond John brand? I
started branding a lot of artists. I brand now. I work a lot with Pitbull. I'm starting to actually work with Miss Universe and Donald, Miss Teen USA and Miss USA. So, you know,
so it's like shark branding.
Yeah, shark branding. I'm starting to brand a lot of other people and great brands, and I'm having a ball with it.
So how do you go about doing that? Someone comes to Miss USA, for example, or whoever it is.
Yeah.
Where do you start?
I think that there's always an angle to reinterpret a brand. I mean, look at Fubu, argument's sake. We looked at it and we saw that we were the global holders of FB, right?
Uh-huh.
Right now, if I go and do a Facebook line, it would be $1 billion line. It's an FB brand. They have to come to me because it's category 25 and I own global rights, all fashion.
And that, my friends, is why he is a shark. You got on that. So now, let's talk about the Young Hollywood brand. You know, you and I have hung out a little bit. You know what I've been building, what I've been creating. You've sort of watched it evolve.
Very sexy brand. I like it.
So what's sort of your advice on the Young Hollywood brand if I were to come to you for branding? Daymond, help me out. We're doing great, but how do we even take this to the next level?
And what do you give to the consumer? What access do you give to the consumer? Access that they can't get anyplace else. You know, look, you're in the Four Seasons. You know,
doesn't suck.
That's pretty big. And then you develop where you're going. I don't want to give you all the answers now because you haven't paid me, but I think that I think you're on to something because obviously I'm on the show and I love the show.
And we love having you.
So
it's always good to have you. Now, if we took Young Hollywood on the show Shark Tank, which of the sharks do you think would be into it?
Well, I think that Cuban,
yep.
Mark Cuban would be into it because he has HDNet, and maybe that's a deal for us to do. I think that Robert Herjavec would like it because Robert Herjavec has the best hair on the show, and I think he'd want to be on here.
Good, you're not sticking me to Kevin. I wouldn't be able to handle that one.
and I would like it. I would like it.
It's a good combo. It's a powerful team. Speaking of Kevin, is he that hardcore in real life? Like, he is scary on the show. You watch and you're like, I do not want to be in business with this guy.
Kevin is the nicest guy in the world, but just don't ask him his opinion about money.
And this season, there have been some fun ones, but the one that sticks out in my mind we were talking about earlier, the guy with the shirt collar.
Oh,
great
the College State guy.
But how did you handle that one?
You know, we all have pet peeves, and my pet peeve is being dismissed. So if I'm sitting there talking to you and you're going, shh, or you hang up the phone and you slam the door in my face, you know, it just makes my blood boil. And that's what he was doing. And, you know, I had to think about it. Maybe the guy, he was just nervous or whatever the case is. And now speaking to him afterwards, great guy, everything's cool.
Isn't that funny? You can't judge a book by its cover just because it's not right the
Yeah,
first
but you
time.
could want to strangle a book by its cover sometimes.
How do you know, like, both on the show and in real life, when it's time to actually be the shark and when you sort of have to pull back?
In personal life, being a shark can sometimes affect the personal aspect because when you're talking to, you know, my girlfriend or my kids or something else, they're like, why are you talking to me like that?
Right.
And you forget because you're used to being a boss.
Yep. We can't have you in here without talking fashion and style.
Sure.
You've evolved it a little bit. You're always evolving it, but a lot of times I see it's like the suit.
You know, this is my normal, basically, way of dressing.
Yeah, and this is tight. I got my eye on this. It's like leather, but it's all one piece.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I would love to say.
Is that one of your brands?
I would love to say it is, but it happens to be Gucci. So.
Daymond John, you got advice on business, you got advice on fashion, and you just got advice on how to build your brand. So check out his book. Check him out on Shark Tank. Anything else that they all need
check
to
me out on Twitter. I'm the Shark Daymond. Check me out on Twitter. You know, all the sharks, what we do is when the show comes on, we all go on Twitter, all 5 of us, and we recap the show and sling a little dirt on each other. And I think we're the only ones doing that when it comes on.
I'm going to do that this week.